And this is my wifely opinion. Being pretty only holds weight if you're loyal, you're respectful, you're intelligent, you're selfless, and you know how to take care of yourself and others. So please stop saying, oh, she's too pretty to get cheated on. Okay, and she's so pretty, but she can't even support a man. She's so pretty, but she's not even being considerate. She's so pretty, she got an attitude problem. She's so pretty. I could name a whole bunch of negative things. Pretty don't mean everything. You need to be pretty and have qualities. Pretty is not a quality. Pretty is you was just blessed with good genes. Now, what else you got? What do you guys think? Should men stay with their women because they're pretty?
I'm sorry, what's with these plethora of women coming on TikTok right now being like, can I borrow your man? Why can't I borrow your man? Oh, you think it's because I want to sleep with him? No, you're paranoid and insecure. I just want to borrow your man. I'm sorry. If men were like, can I borrow your wife? I got some dishes I need done. The laundry? Hey, your wife can do it, right? Oh, I just don't want to cook tonight. Can your wife do that? You know how long it's been since I got sucked off? Can your wife do? I'm just joking. But come on. When the shoe's on the other foot, it's up, is it not? It just goes to show how entitled women are over men's just entire existence, right? We want to sit there and be like, men are entitled over our bodies, and that's why the patriarchy, and it's unfair, and we're oppressed. And then we walk around feeling so entitled to men that we're like, I can't borrow your husband? Free labor? You want me to call a handyman, but your husband's right there. Well, why would he call a hooker when you're right there?
The reason is illegal is because if we start legally charging, men will no longer be able to convince us that we should be giving it away for free.
Being up is not a flex. It shows that you don't have self-respect and self-love.
Is your man a provider if he can't pay for manicures and nice dinners and weekend getaways? If that is your definition of a provider, then your relationship is in deep trouble. There are women out here demanding a lifestyle that their own fathers never even provided. If there is food in your fridge, a roof over your head, and consistent income covering the bills, you have a provider. Anything beyond that is a bonus. Just because he can't fly your family to Dubai doesn't make him any less of a man. God's plan for marriage is a stable home, not an Instagram competition. He looks at character, not credit limit. So a woman who makes her man feel bad for not having a nicer car or a bigger house or a budget for lash extensions is just a straight up burden on his shoulders that he'll eventually need to dump. But a virtuous woman who is thankful for what she has and wise with her words and supportive at home, that's a treasure that a man will cherish and keep forever. If you want to become that virtuous woman that lifts her home up instead of brings it down, I created a free class that explains exactly how to get there. Click the link in my bio for access.
Dude, there's literally children there. Women should not be allowed to dress like this in public. It needs to be made illegal immediately. This is what feminists do with their equal rights. They just dress as legally naked as possible so they can all look like a prostitute. You see? It's really not that hard to put some clothes on. Now pick up the phone, call your father, and apologize immediately. That's so tough.
And what's crazy about this is that people actually had the nerve in the comments to say he was wrong. I mean, look at her shirt, man. Look at her shirt, dude. I mean, what are we doing? What are we doing here? Let's look at her shirt, bro. I mean, what are we wearing? What are we wearing here? She ain't got no shirt on, man. She around kids. When people, I mean, you can see the woman behind her got a little, tank top on, a tank top and shorts. So yeah, I see another person with shorts on, another person with a short sleeve shirt on. You have a plethora of options, but why that? I mean, and people, oh man, why are you doing it? And all that other nonsense. Why is she doing that with kids around, bro? These modern women don't have any respect.
Let me just say this, y'all. I've been talking about this for years. That man does not have ED. It's the simple fact that you sit up here, you create
chaos. You create disconnect. You create discord. You create dysfunction, and you also disrespect him. You belittle him. You name call him. You don't do nothing that soothes him. You don't do nothing that provides any type of protection for him, any type of emotional safety, but yet you want his to work. How is his supposed to work when you sit up here and disrespect him all the time? A lot of times y'all don't understand that, and a man has an emotional and other type of connection to you before the physical aspect of it. And 9 times out of 10, your mouth is the reason why his don't work. Learn how to shut the up sometime.
Let's be real, a lot of you ladies don't want to cook and clean for your man at the mere fact that you're just lazy and don't respect your man.
I was falsely accused of assaults, thrown in prison, bailed out on $250,000 bail with no criminal record. I hired a private detective. We learned that this person had done it many times in other states. They drugged me in the bar on camera, multiple eyewitnesses.
Did the person in question go prison after?
They had zero interest in prosecuting a girl who made the story up, never showed up to court again. I had to fight for 11 months, and then when I was able to prove it with video evidence, they just dismissed me.
There's so many girls that do go through that, right. And to falsely accuse someone that they didn't do it, and then nothing happens to them. I think that's ridiculous.
Well, the problem is the women that do the false accusing, they really hurt the girls that really were hurt. I'm not going to let one evil person, when there's 100 great people and one bad person, I'm not going to let that person ruin my outlook on life.
I really appreciate this man coming on camera and telling his story, because all too often, even when a man is proven innocent, he has fear of even talking about the situation because there's so many people that will still think that he did something. Men that are falsely accused absolutely have long-lasting consequences. And I'm honestly tired of seeing content out there from women that say otherwise. I think they would like to think that nothing negative happens to a man's life, so you might as well believe the woman as soon as she accuses him. But that's not true, hence why it is so important why men like this speak up. It is also why all of us, men and women, should absolutely be on board with laws that give consequences to false accusations. Because to not have that, which is the system that we are in right now, there are people becoming victims within our justice system, and that is messed up.
You know, I do wonder what happens to bail. Like, if you were falsely accused, is that still your responsibility? I don't really know how bail works, so that's probably ignorance on my part. But you know, it's just more cost besides my reputation. Hey, Bill, how's it going? You know, is everything okay, Bill? Oh, are you sure? I mean, well, you might have gotten off, but we're not 100% sure that you were innocent. Well, see, I knew there was always something about that bill. That's what they're going to start to say. And I didn't do anything. So my reputation takes a hit. I have to bail myself out or somebody to bail me out. $250,000. I don't know how many people actually have $250,000 lying around. I don't know that many people, to be honest. Actually, by that many people, I mean, he's old, but I know him. He's probably got 250,000 later. Well, you know, I know a couple of them. But the point is, they're well into their journey of wealth. So that goes back to my point. Not many people. I don't know many people with $250,000 lying around. But this is what he had to come up with. And then all of the other stuff that he had to deal with because a woman sat up there and lied, and then no consequences for her. Of course not.
Why are there so many women today who say they don't need a man?
Because we're independent. Most of the women have small businesses or a business, or they probably have a hair salon. That is a business. But yeah, most of them have businesses.
Does the fact that women no longer need men mean the main reason women were with men was because they had to be?
Yeah, it's because they had to be back in the day.
Well, then wouldn't that prove that men were often seen as a utility to be used?
They're still used. They're still tools.
Well, then how is that different than men objectifying women?
True. There's no difference.
So then why are men shamed for objectifying women while women will often objectify a man financially?
Because they're muscle heads.
I'm 22 and I'm getting married in a couple months, and so many people are saying I'm getting married too young and that I should spend the best years of my life partying and having fun and all of that stuff. Perhaps I would like to spend the best years of my life with the love of my life. And I would like to live a faithful life rather than hop around college bars every weekend and sleep with every guy I see. Marriage is only the beginning of my adventure, certainly not the end. And maybe I got lucky because a lot of people say you should wait until you have life figured out before you get married, but for me, when I met my fiance, life started to work out. Regardless, when you know, and you can figure out the rest later, together.
This is a continuation of my last video. Now, to the girl who actually made that video that I just stitched, I'm not talking about her specifically, I just want to talk about this topic. If you are optionally chopped, you're not optionally chopped. You're just chopped. Take out the optionally part. You're just chopped. If you have to get done up to not be chopped, you're still chopped. Yes, you're still chopped. And then y'all are going to say, oh no, because so-and-so did this trend and she looks good. She looks good regardless. Yes, regardless. After makeup, she looks good. Before makeup, she looks good. She just looks better with makeup, but she still looked good before she put the makeup on. That's the difference. If you're ugly before you get dolled up, then you're just ugly. It don't matter what you do, what you put on your face, because when you go home at night, you wipe that off. Now you yourself still gotta look in the mirror and be like, damn, here we are again.
He's the hottest man in the world, but then he reaches in his pocket and pulls out his vape. You cannot be hot and hit a vape at the same time.
All my kids had to sign a prenup before they got married to their partners, because if they didn't, they wouldn't get anything from my will.
You don't have a prenup, you don't take under the will. First, all my children are married. All my children have prenups. In my estate, it works like this. If you don't have a prenup, you don't take under the will.
Bingo.
So I become the bad guy. And every time I tell people this, I don't know how old your kids are, you will remember this, believe me. So you don't want your kid to have to be the bad guy. You're the bad guy. So my kids can say, hey, my dad, my dad. Now, if you don't want to sign it,
yeah,
we're not getting.
That's right.
And so that's the first thing. The prenups are fairly tough.
Okay.
Like, one lawyer said this is the most egregious document I've ever read.
Egregious.
I'm
sure you took it as a compliment.
I said by design.
By design.
And so, but listen, all of the daughter-in-laws, the son-in-law, I love these folks, but I'm not going to have a situation where somebody can come in and,
half of what you
my one son, Matt, said, because he was the first one, he's like, well, Daddy, maybe I put a clause in there that if I cheat on my wife, that is a null and void. I go, no, because we don't need to have any litigation. He goes, I'm not going to cheat. I said, I know you're not, But he asked that question. I said, let's just get the document signed.
Everybody should be signing a prenup.
We have romanticized romance so much, we almost don't like the truth. And the truth is, you will not always be so googly eyed over your partner. The truth is, sometimes you're really going to be disappointed, upset, angry, emotional, bothered. You don't even frustrated. You don't even want to be around that person, right? These moments can happen in your relationship, and it doesn't mean that you're ready to throw in the towel or you're ready to give up or you're ready to say this person is not for me. It just says, hey, this is a trigger and a signal that's telling me something that happened doesn't feel good. What does that mean?
So all the men from my previous post saying that they have found peace by being alone and they're not trying to date because they just want peace. Are you trying to say that we don't bring peace to your life?
Yes, that is actually what they're saying. In all seriousness, most men want a relationship, but all men are not willing to have the wrong relationship. Because both men and women are realizing that having peace is superior to having the wrong relationship. And that is exactly why not getting involved with the wrong person is key. One of the things that I always recommend every man do before getting involved with a woman that you're interested in is doing a background check on a trusted website like publicdatacheck.com. That is where you can safely learn about somebody's past history before getting involved. It can save you a lot of hassle.
God forbid a man get away from chaos. God forbid a man decides, hey, I don't have any more money to continue blowing on this model, on these women. God forbid.
This message is for the girls. Men cannot read our minds, no matter how much we want them to. Husbands, boyfriends, it doesn't matter what they are. They cannot read our minds, not even a little bit. So if you want something for your birthday, anniversary, some kind of present, and you're trying to drop hints and stuff, I would stop doing that. Tell him what you want. You're at the gas station, and he goes, do you want anything to eat? Tell him what you want to eat. Tell him you want the snack. They can't read our minds. As much as you're like, oh, well, he should know. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they don't. Also, any kind of chore, like if you tell him you want him to fold the towels and he does it wrong, then you need to tell him how you want them folded. They will never know how you want them folded unless you tell them. Men cannot read our minds, no matter how much we want them to. This goes both ways, obviously. So just to let you know that, yeah, you need to verbalize. Dropping hints and thinking like, oh, they'll know what I'm thinking. No, talk.
You made your brother stop for Plan B on the way to Christmas dinner? Well, here's a more fitting sweater for you so when you show up to your family dinner, you can apologize to all of them for being a
ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
If a man says something like, you have such a nice body, or how'd you get that figure, or you have really good genetics, gone. Don't even waste your time. That man is full of lust, and a lustful man is never satisfied. What healthy masculine men will say, and I think it's so cute. I've noticed this. I almost always wear dresses on first dates, and I would start to notice a pattern. Men that are healthy and in their masculine energy, this is what they've told me. That dress is really nice that you're wearing. That's such a beautiful outfit. You have great fashion. They will always compliment the dress. Very little will they say something like, that dress looks so good on you, because that's borderline complimenting your body. They're not even going to talk about your body because, like I said in the beginning, they're thinking long term. They know it's going to get there, where they can make more comments like that when you guys are in a committed relationship. A man that can't even control his tongue, he's not going to be able to control other parts of himself. And you definitely don't want to deal with that.
I want to get married. I want to have kids. I want to have a normal family. I'm trying to be normal, but a lot of times, I guess it's just the wrong man. A lot of times, I'm forced to be bad. But at the same time, if I'm forced to be bad, that's when I know it's time to exit. I'm not going to stay here.
Women don't want love anymore. This is not made of I love you, I honor you, I value you, I'm sharing one of my most valuable assets. It's turned into, if I give you this, you'll pay my rent, or you'll buy me a bag, or you get me some shoes. It is so transactional.
It was so bizarre to me that hookup culture is such a normalized thing. Hookup is like, I remember I was like, wait, what? What are we doing? We're supposed to do what and then not do what? And then you kind of fall into it a little bit because now when you say it, it becomes normal. And in my mind, I'm like, how is this even normal?
You like dating athletes?
I love dating athletes. I want to have a retired NBA player. I feel like they're the best of the best because they lived that life. They got it out of the system. They got the money. The 100 million does not equal you being a good man.
I agree.
You can have 20 million, you can be a man. You can have 1 million, you can be an amazing person.
What is the amount that's not a lot of money? Like if a man comes around, he doesn't make a lot of money. How much is that?
So if you don't make at least 10 to 15,000 a month, I can't do that.
So basically, I'm not here to make any connections. I'm just here to make cash. I'm still out there messing with people that's probably not going to be good for me, but no, it is what it is. I'm willing to take that risk. You sat up there saying, you know, you keep on running into the wrong, well, if he's a wrong man, then I'm just out of there. Oh, okay. Well, you keep on running into the wrong man. You got a type. You keep on running into that type because you won't let down on your quote unquote standards. Well, good luck out there.
Be mean to your husband. I get this DM from this woman who said that she's so nice to her husband and he's so mean to her. She doesn't understand why he's so mean to her. Trust me on this. Men don't like nice women.
In fact, men, all they want is for their wife to be nice to them. They do not want to come home to a nagging, angry woman. They don't want her to treat him like he's got to immediately help her with everything or else he's completely worthless. They don't want to be treated and shown no appreciation. They, in fact, love an adoring wife, somebody who's happy to see them, who is sweet to them, who wants to love on them. I think that a real man will appreciate a woman's womanness, her femininity. And part of that is hormones, and part of that is maybe being a little neurotic. And so he might see that as a challenge, and he will take that on willingly, happily, enjoy it in his own way. but that does not equate to being mean to your husband.
Have you been dying to fly in an airplane, but you weren't sure if you'd fit?
These licks are not hurting. These licks will not hurt anybody. Well, it probably hurt a woman or something like that.
It's not gonna hurt me at all.
Or a 13 and down.
Like, she's not really, like, hitting
Yeah.
like you're supposed to. She just throwing, it's like, you know, like you went in high school and everybody's throwing hands and stuff. That's what she doing.
Those hits when he was hurt 15, 16-year-old boys. A lot of people get out into the world and they think they're going to be okay. Oh, if 2 people walk up on me, I'm going to do... No.
But did they even teach her how to throw a real punch, though?
And they're not. A man in this situation is not looking like hey, I'm going to win this fight. He knows it's going to be a struggle. So what I'm trying to get y'all to see is we have to be realistic when we haven't showing these type of videos and stuff, things like that, and things that we think we can do. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully, you know what I mean, they actually be serious with her in some of these sparring matches so she can see the power difference rather than them just acting like she doing something and getting money from her.
What up, gang? We're at home and we're doing a wine review. Tina, tell them how the wine is. How do you like it?
It's good.
You said it needs to open up a little bit more though, didn't you?
You said that.
I said, yeah, it's a little tight. Isn't it tight? But it's bigger in the mouth. Tina, I've heard that before. I know it's strange.
You don't even know what that means.
Smash the like button for this wine. Hey, stop. You can't hide. Smash the like button. Big dubs in the chat. Tina, give me one. Give me smash.
This is exactly what I teach. Watch this.
Hey, would you be up to going out to eat tonight?
Not tonight, sweetie. I really want to finish this stuff up.
Okay, no problem. Wait, are those your welds?
Yeah, why?
Those are really nice.
Thank you.
That's really impressive.
You know, I do what I can, you know?
Well, we'll figure out something for dinner. I'll let you get back to work.
Well, you know, I could probably stop for a little while. We could go to town and grab something to eat.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Glad you thought of that. I'll go get ready.
This is exactly what I'm talking about, the superpower that all women have. I like to call it feminine communication. She wanted to be taken out to dinner, but instead of getting fussy over his answer, she complimented and acknowledged his efforts. This triggered something in his mind called reciprocity. He received something that he needed, which is to be understood and respected, and now he naturally wants to give back what she needs. And this is not out of obligation or pressure, but out of free will. It's a balanced cycle of giving and receiving between 2 people. And that's the power of becoming a queen that knows how to inspire her man to rise up to his full potential. If you want to learn how to communicate at this level, I created a free class explaining how to get there. Click the link in my bio for access.
Chivalry's not the only thing that's dead. Class seems to be dead too, because why are women out here offering nothing but an OnlyFans subscription? Hey, look at that. We both have some questions. The reality is why do you expect to have special treatment? Because if you were the type of woman who was like, hey, I believe that men deserve certain type of special treatment because we complement each other, I'd be like, all right, you know, she's just a traditional woman, but you're not. You're not. What you are is entitled, and I see right through it. That's it. No, thank you.
Solve this argument because my husband is wrong. Stephen, hold this. Stephen, hold the phone. All right. He got me this little guy, and I was hugging him, and I'm like, how sweet. Then I said, you know what? I just need him to smell like you. So I just cats do it. I just need you to rub your scent off. Apparently, he thinks that's weird.
Yeah, I gotta agree with her on this one. The man, I swear, men just when you buy her a stuffed animal, or spray your cologne on the stuffed animal. Chances are, if she's in a relationship with you, she likes your scent, and she definitely wants it to smell like you. No, I think this is adorable, but I definitely agree with her on this one.
Why are men so affected by admiration or appreciation?
I would say because of that productivity versus connectivity.
So also like linked to providership.
Yes, and we should visit that. Procreate, then protect, then provide, which is before gender, before human, before all that. But yes, it's linked to being productive, usually in order to provide. But if you think about how a human being is going to be able to be the most productive, if they're trusted and respected, that's how you get to be part of a team. That's how you get to go on the big game hunt. If you're not trusted and respected, you're chasing bunnies by yourself, and it'll never get any better. So experiencing being trusted and respected is a source of security for a man. And if, for example, a man is married and his wife keeps making sure he knows that she does not admire him, that she does not respect him, that he's not worthy of respect, then everything he's poured into what he's building, has been building with her, isn't safe. It's now in jeopardy.
I was only married for 75 days before I filed for a divorce. These people, what are you even getting married?
I was married for 75 days before I filed for a divorce. I've told this story before, but so many women ask me, so I'll tell the story again. And let me preface this by saying, before y'all jump in the comment section talking about God, this and that and the third, I don't care. I don't want to hear it. I was married for long enough to see what I needed to see, and I dipped. I don't feel no type of way about it. I got in and I got out. It's something that I would never do again, and it just is what it is. We did not know each other very long. We knew of each other for a long time, but we did not know each other for a long time.
Then why are you getting married?
And at the time when he asked me to marry him, I kind of was in a space where I was like, yeah, okay, well, whatever. I'll do it. Like, and that's the honest truth, y'all. Like, that's just the honest truth. He had been watching me for quite some time online and crushing on me for quite some time online. And so we exchanged numbers and started texting, back and forth. And it didn't take him long. He asked me on a date, which hindsight is 2020. He said, maybe we can meet up for coffee or tea. And I should have left his ass where he had me up at. But what I did say was, I don't meet men for coffee dates. So I'm not getting in my car to go on no coffee date. It's not happening. He had no problem planning. He had no problem taking me where I want to go. He had no problem with if I said, I don't like that, I don't want to do that. He didn't get offended. He was just basically it's whatever. It's your world.
The marriage is a joke to them. They're not in it to stay. They're in it to flaunt. They're in it to show off. They have no interest in actually committing and making sure that their marriage works. So it's just something that I wanted to check off. And I know how bad it sounds, but it's the truth.
And kind of like she was saying, that's really the long and short of it. You were just really there to check something off. You weren't really in the marriage because you really like the guy. You're just there to check off a box. Now, I've seen people getting married this early, and it worked out. But for these types of things, when you clearly don't respect the man. The man said, "Hey, maybe we can go for coffee or tea or something like that." I should have known. We should have known what? What should you have known? When you said, "Well, I don't really meet men for coffee or tea." He said, "Oh, okay. Well, let me find something else. What else do you like? Where do you want to go?" He adapted and he adjusted. So what was the red flag besides you? What was the issue besides you? Once again, and you're probably saving him a lot of money because you'd have gotten into the marriage and then you'd have just stayed and stayed and stayed. Maybe I would have had kids out of pure duty or whatever. And you would have walked away. You divorced them and left them all. just high and dry. That's what you would have done. So, you know, sad that this happened to you, man, but it's for the best, bro. This woman is not a great woman. She trash woman. She's a loser, dude. She's a loser.
Majority of men don't do hard jobs or are rushing to do so. Have you ever looked at the statistics behind men and their jobs? Because the majority of hard jobs in our country, the majority of jobs that keep society running, that keep buildings going up, keep electric and power going, keep supplies in our stores, are done by men. So let's talk about it. Do you like having the lights on in your home? Because 98% of electricians are men. Or what about being able to flush your toilet? Because 98.9% of plumbers are men. What about even having a home that generally requires some type of brickwork, stonework, or concrete work? And 99.7% of those workers are men. And the rest of your house is built by construction workers, and 93.7% of those are men. The equipment operators that clear the lands, make the roads, put up the great big buildings, 95% of them are men. Do you like having food on your shelves and items in your stores? Because the truck drivers that bring them to you, 94.7% of them are men. Do you like having fresh fruits, vegetables, and meat? Because in farming, 94.7% of the tractor operators and the farm equipment operators, they're men. Do you like our country being protected from foreign invaders? And do you like our military protecting us abroad? Because 95% of the military combat roles that do that protection are men. Or what about the oil that's needed for gasoline or the soles of your shoes or the minerals that are mined to keep our society running? Over 90% of those employees are men. And guess who keeps all of that heavy equipment, all of those oil rigs, and all of the big transport trucks running? Men. Because 95% of heavy equipment mechanics and welders are men. And this is just the beginning of the list, because we haven't even mentioned HVAC, garbage disposal, sanitation, recycling centers, police, firemen, and many, many, many jobs that are absolutely necessary for society to keep running and dangerous, that men are in the 80 to 90% in those career fields. Nobody's saying women can't do these jobs, but a lot of women sure don't want to, because if they did, they wouldn't continue to be male dominated. Your misandry showing. Have the day you deserve. Bye.
I'm sorry, what type of coon is this? Do you think I'm less likely to get picked because of my hair? Have you seen any of my videos? Look through the comments. There are men complimenting me on my hair in every single video. Not to mention, I'm already picked. And my man loves my hair. So I don't know what type of internalized self-hatred that you are trying to project onto me right now, but I'm gonna need you to keep that to yourself. Thank you. No, but seriously, what does she mean by this? Because do you mean that because I have locks, I'm supposed to think, act, speak a certain way? Does having locks come with some type of morality code that I'm not privy to? Why in the world are you assuming what I'm supposed to think and feel because of my hair? That sounds like some real internalized racist shit, if you ask me. And shout out to all my people with locks. You are allowed to think and feel and do as you please without people assuming something about you because of your hair. And to all of my locked ladies, you can still get picked with locks. Trust you me.
The old days of the girlfriend experience, which I don't do. I've never done any hooker situation. The girlfriend's experience makes a deal. You will pay all my bills. I will not get emotionally attached. I'll fuck you 6 ways to Sunday. But at the end of the day, this is a contract. You'll come see me 2-3 times a week. You'll pay my rent. You'll get my car. If you want more than that, you got to pay me. And you know what happens? Every one of those guys fall in love with the girlfriend because she doesn't want him.
So I have another personal theory as to why she is saying that these guys kind of fall in love with the girlfriend who is offering the girlfriend experience, which is like an SW term. I don't personally feel like the guys are falling in love with this woman because she doesn't want him specifically. I think the real reason is because in these type of arrangements, it is a very one-sided sort of deal in terms of emotional labor. If this is an SW situation, I'm sure that the woman is kind of going into these dates very cognizant of the way that she's coming across. She is sort of playing the manic pixie dream girl. He comes over and she is just all happy-go-lucky. She's like always cheery. She's always listening to his problems. She's making him feel supported and validated. And all of this is great. But I say that it's probably one-sided because I can even speak to this at a lower level as a woman who has attended, midnight ballerina clubs as a customer, not as a dancer. That part of the appeal of the experience is that you're going into a place where you have either one woman or a bunch of women sort of validating validating your ego. They're talking to you about whatever you want to talk about. It's not really catered towards their interest and what they think and what they want to talk about, their problems, their struggles. They usually don't even bring up their problems or struggles. It's all sort of hyper-focused on you. And so, yeah, I do think that people who go to a midnight ballerina club, sometimes some people will get like very invested into one particular dancer because she knows how to talk. She knows how to cater it towards that person's interest. And so it's not so much that they are in love with you or that they want you because you don't want them. What it really is because you're talking about whatever they want to talk about. They don't have to consider you really in the situation because it is more transactional. And the transaction is that they're paying the woman, and then she is sort of giving them that experience of having a very one-sided quasi-relationship, but it's not really a relationship because it's solely catered towards him. So I think it's pretty obvious in those situations, like why somebody would get very attached or not really realize the extent that the other person is sort of minimizing parts about themselves. The person who's playing the girlfriend role usually isn't coming to you with their struggles. They're not coming to you with all of their faults or insecurities. You don't really see them on their bad days, or if you do, they're not vocalizing it. So you really don't have to put in a lot of emotional labor, but they're just putting emotional labor in to appease you. So that is what I thought of when I was watching this video. And I do think that this is sometimes why you will see people, like I said, falling for either midnight ballerinas, or they'll fall for SW workers, or they'll fall for bartenders, waitresses, people who are kind of being paid to be nice to you. But a lot of people can feel like it is a two-sided situation because they're not fully understanding that that other person is minimizing parts about themselves to make this a better experience for you. It is not an equal relationship. But that is just my opinion, so let me know what you guys think. Bye.
It seems like you actually like me, right? It seems like you actually care for me. Like, even though I know that I don't know you, you don't know me, and this is like a whole arrangement, you make it seem like I'm worth something, which is what society doesn't do for a lot of men. It makes a lot of men feel like they're garbage. It makes a lot of men feel like they're nothing. It makes a lot of men feel like, you're only as good as your contribution, and you're only hanging by a thread, because if we had something to replace you here, we would have. But we're kind of stuck with you. We kind of have to put up with you for right now. That's how modern women in society have made men feel. And so if I go to a club like this, or if I go to, wherever I guess overseas, right? If I go overseas and I find somebody that I spend a little money on, I spend a little time with, oh, they not going to do this, this, and this. At least they make it seem like they like me, but you have to pay them. This should tell you, if men are paying to get away from drama, what do you think why are we not taking any hints? Oh, this man is trying to avoid drama. He's trying to avoid chaos. Instead of saying, I'm going to stop doing all of that, you say, I'm going to continue to be the drama. I'm going to continue to be the chaos, even though he's paying to get away from it.
So what does your initial first date look like with a man?
My initial first date is asking him where he wants to bring me. And daytime, is he a planner? So I will know kind of where he's at and what he has in store and what type of life I would be walking into. So my initial first date would be up to the man.
Yeah, okay. Well, I wasn't saying like plan, like what type of stuff would you like to do on a first date, as far as, are you into
I want to do what he wants to do.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm there to learn him,
Yeah.
and I'm there to know him.
But he got to learn you too, though.
And he'll learn me when I walk into his world.
Okay, goddamn, okay.
But walk into my world first, I'm not providing a world for you. So
Not at all.
my world really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It matters to the extent of what have I cultivated?
Yeah.
Have I nurtured my world? Where can my world take him, right? When I enter his world. So that's why I won't present the preconceived notion of what I want to do, because he might show me something new. And now I just limited myself
Yeah.
to what I'm already exposed to, and I never gave him a chance to step me into his world. So
Damn, okay. Can we bring her up here or what?
So at first I wasn't sure what she was doing. I wasn't. But honestly, that is, I like it. I do. And a part of the reason that I like it is because of how she rounded it out at the end, basically saying that if I'm giving you what I like, what I want to do, but you're the one, I'm coming into your world, right? If we are dating with intention, and the intention is marriage and partnership and lifelong longevity and all the things, you are creating a world for me. I'm the woman stepping into your world, right? But by imposing what I want, imposing the things that I'm used to, then I have stifled myself and not allowed myself to be open to what your world looks like or your experiences. Now, I do agree that both parties should be, their worlds should merge, but I don't know. I like this idea for initially getting to know someone, because it lays a foundation as the man as the head. And I know some of y'all not gonna like this. But it lays the foundation for the man as the head of the relationship and the woman as the neck. She gonna do the turning, but he is in the lead. So show me how you lead from jump. Now, I also don't have a problem with shared planning of the first date. I also think that that's a great idea. Let's get together and put our heads together and come up with a first date that looks like both of us.
Yeah, I think this is probably a good representation of a healthy way to look at the first date. But I think where this might fall a little flat for a lot of people is when he introduces something that you don't want to do. And now you've made up in your mind to exclude him from any further dates because you didn't like what he planned. Because we have these conversations, or we had a big conversation recently about the whole coffee dates and things like that.
Coffee date.
If he introduces you to a coffee date, or let's go get ice cream, or let's go walk, or let's go have a picnic, or let's go do, something that's very, very, easy and easygoing, and something where we can actually have a conversation and do what he said, like learn each other. A lot of people exclude the man for that.
But see, and again, this may be an unpopular opinion, but for me, if that's the first date, if the first date is something very simple where you guys have an opportunity to talk and get to know each other and learn each other, and you don't like the activity, and from that point you disregard the person, whether male or female, to me, that person that you discarded just won. Because the point of the date was not the activity, it was getting to know the person. You are dating someone to get to know them, not necessarily for the things that you're going to do. That's a bonus. That's a benefit of the date. The point of the date is actually learning someone. I will say there's another part that people will probably take pause with, and that's when she says my world doesn't matter. I don't agree with that, because girl, my world matters. Because I still like what I like. I still want to do what I want to do. But I'm a very go with the flow type of person. I like trying new things to an extent. I don't like heights. Now, if we gonna go do something like bungee jumping, it's gonna be a hard no for me, but I will meet you down here on the ground. By all means, go up there and jump. I'm be down here when you get here. Roller coaster, I got your bag. We're good. I'm not gonna cancel the whole day. We gonna get to know each other later. But I will say, don't box yourself in, because when you put yourself into a box, when you say these are the things I like and these are the only things I like, and if you do anything outside of this, then it's going to be a no for me, then you miss out on things. Like, you never know what you're actually going to like, and allowing someone else to lead. And again, I say that for both parties. I think that both men and women should plan dates. I don't think it should fall solely on the man to plan a date. I think at some point in time, it has to go to the woman as well, because just like he's opening you to new things, you're going to open him to new things. And you can't do that if you're not participating in it.
Also, I think we need to redefine what is considered to be low effort, because I saw around these different date ideas, the walks in the park and the ice cream and stuff. I saw a lot of people saying that these are low effort dates. I think we kind of need to redefine that, because in these types of dates, like you said, it's about getting to know the other person. And if we're doing a whole lot of hoopla, even over dinner, you got food in your mouth, I got food in my mouth. What are we talking about? I'm
gonna say this. Yesterday, we went out with our kids. I dropped him off. He got a massage. We had our goddaughter, who is 18, our 12-year-old, our 7-year-old. We dilly-dallied. While he got his massage, we were out here dilly-dallying, okay? We just bounced between different little shops and found things, and I loved that. We grabbed a coffee. My goddaughter got a little matcha. The kids got them a little treat. We just tried different things. To me, that was the perfect date for both children, hanging out with the kids, hanging out with friends, and hanging out with a partner, because it allows you to see what they like, right? My goddaughter drugged me to an antique store. Girl, why am I in an antique store? What I'm supposed to do in here?
It was something new for you.
It was. I found me a cute little ring. I discovered something about me. I like vintage jewelry. You didn't taught me something new, and I learned something new about you. I didn't know that you liked antique stores as much as you do. You've mentioned thrifting, right? But now I know that this is something that you have a passion about. My kids ventured off into a record store. They in there looking at posters and looking at records. Like, boy, I didn't know that you like this particular character. Go get it. We'll put it up on the wall. Like, these are opportunities to just be very slow and learn the other person, learn something new about them, potentially learn something new about you, and just be in the moment without having to do this extravagant thing. Oh my God, I need to get dressed up. What outfit am I going to wear? What shoes do I wear? Throw something on, get in the car, and just go. I love a good dilly-dally date. A dilly-dally date. That's what y'all should start doing. Just bounce around and dilly-dally. No plans for real. Just go.
And there were people, I think I saw a guy in the comments basically saying something to that effect, where he was kind of on the side of, I don't see it as a problem, but he was kind of on the side of, well, if you say that to me, then I'm going to be out. I'm going to say next, I'm going to pop my balloon because I feel like, you should be kind of helping plan the date. I agree with that. But also, I think, or I'd like to think, that this woman is taking a step back, where so many women are so boisterous and demonstrative about what they want. And a man's like, man, I was going to take you to this cool little spot that means a lot to me. You want to, kind of understand what my world looks like. And I was going to take you to that cool little spot because I felt like, that was something that was representative of me. So you can see how I live, how I move, what I do. Right. But you didn't want to go there. You want to go to Nobu like every other woman. Like you want to be cookie cutter like every other woman. So, I mean, I'm going to have to go ahead and let you go. Right. So I can see both sides of it. But to me, I kind of like her approach. And I think most importantly, I like her demeanor. I really like the way that, she was saying things. Once again, a lot of these modern women would have an attitude with it. They would be, oh, I'm this. I expect a man to da-da. I like a woman that's firm. You don't have to take nothing from nobody. Right. You can say what you want. You can't say what you mean. You can't say how you feel. Talk back to me. Say something to me. If I'm doing something, or maybe there's an opportunity for improvement, say something to me. But a lot of these modern women, they're combative. They're very combative with the stuff that they say, and it is not really to help you. It's kind of to like question your every move, and through that you kind of become self-conscious, which a lot of men do. Is like, dang man, I thought I was doing the right thing. Well, I'm just a man. Ain't nobody gonna ruin my confidence. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but if you got a friend, which is supposed to be your wife, if you got a friend that's supposed to be your confidant, the ride or die, and they questioning your every decision, then you're kind of like, I don't know, man, maybe I should step back. And that hesitation, whereas you were driving and moving forward, you weren't perfect, but you were driving and you're moving forward, you slow down a little bit. And those opportunities that you were getting, all of a sudden now, you missing those opportunities. When what should happen is your support, your ride or die, should see that mistake running by you and catch it. And it's like, hey, maybe I can fix this, right? Or she can, hey, you missed this, and throw it back up to you. Oh, shoot, I never even saw that. Yeah, I did. I'm watching, right? So that's the type of knowledge that a man is going to need from you. He's running and picking up this opportunity, picking up and getting that opportunity. And maybe he drops an opportunity. It's kind of like going shopping. One of those TV shows where you kind of do like the whole get whatever you can in 60 seconds, but you do that on your own. And so you're trying to grab stuff and you're trying to, just dump a whole bunch of stuff in your cart. This time in a relationship, they say, and we even going to give you a partner. That's never been done. Think of all of the things that you can get if you have a partner in 60 seconds. Y'all might decide to divide and conquer. Y'all might decide, you go on this side of the store, I'm going to go on this side. Or y'all following each other down an aisle, and y'all just boom, 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 getting whatever you get, and you go to grab something and it slips, you can keep on going. Because guess what your partner is going to do? I see he wants that, and while I got stuff in my hand, I'm going to grab my stuff and we're going to throw it in the basket. I got what he got, I'm getting what I got, and we basically just tag teaming it. That's what we're doing, right? But a lot of modern women don't think like that. They don't operate like that. They think like, oh, well, you know, with my 60 seconds, I'm going to do something else. And they go in and they spend time looking at certain things and doing certain other things. It's like, man, why didn't you help me out? What? You know what I mean? So a lot of men don't date women anymore because the tag team, the loyalty factor, the being ride or die is no longer there. The stepping into my world, the seeing where you can help me with opportunities, the seeing where you can support me and cater to me while I cater to you is no longer available, unfortunately.